Pastor W. Eric Crooms here on Sunday morning, July 5th, 2020. This is the day the Lord has made, and I will rejoice and be glad in it. I am so happy to be here to talk about my upcoming devotional / book that I am releasing in a few days called Surge into the New. Stand up, reach God's excellence. Surge will be available July 10th as a digital download on my website, PastorWEricCrooms.com. PastorWEricCrooms.com. Again, Surge into the New. Stand up, reach God's excellence will be available as a digital download on my website, PastorWEricCrooms.com. It will be available in a print version later this year that I'm working on, but I wanted to make it available now because it's so urgent, my brothers and sisters, that we understand that we have not been abandoned as believers, that God has not forgotten about us. And listen, I know that some of you are hurting. You're hurting financially, you're hurting emotionally, you are hurting relationally, and you are hurting spiritually. This is a season in which the adversary will take full advantage of the circumstances and try to plant in the believer's mind that we've been abandoned, that God has written us off. And I want to assure you that nothing could be further from the truth. And the reason I am so confident in what I am saying is because the Bible is replete with the promises of God. God has promised never to leave us, never to leave us, never to forsake us, never to leave us alone. So be encouraged. Yes, this is a storm of unparalleled origin. This is something that nobody ever thought would happen in our time. And in so many ways, if you really look at it, there are so many blessings which are hidden within our experience. But the key is to keep our heads up, keep our eyes toward the hills from whence cometh my help. Our help comes from the Lord, because once we get our heads down, once we take our eyes off of Christ, then that is when everything looks dismal and discouraging. So I want to remind you that God is still on your side. And that if nothing else, all we must do is gather the courage, the strength to keep on moving through this season of swift transition. And that's why I wrote Surge into the New, because I honestly want to help somebody. I want to help you to think well, to be well, and to trust God, if I had to sum it up in a nutshell. And let's not forget that a surge is a rise in sea level produced by a storm, usually a hurricane. The strong winds from the storm push the waves toward the shore. Folks, all this is doing is pushing us toward the shores of new opportunity, new relationships, new possibilities for God's believers. And that's exactly what it is doing. But we have to trust God. We have to keep our faith intact, understand that it's a season for us to work on some things. You know, that's another thing I talk about in Surge into the New, that I don't know what your new is. Your new is different from my new. You know, I've listed my new, you know, good health, strong relationships, and big ideas. You know, everybody, what do you want is really the question that you have to ask. What do you want? The most relevant answer to most people is, I want health, wealth, and love. Okay, that's fine. That's a good thing to want. Because all of those things, there's nothing wrong with desiring those things, health, wealth, and love, in Christ. God does not want anything less than our well-being, in other words. He does not want anything less than what makes us whole. And that begins with a relationship with God through his son, Jesus Christ. That is the starting point. So I want you to be well. I want you to think well, and I want you to stay well and understand that we are not alone. So I didn't mean to take this video up to 6 minutes here, but I just wanted to make sure that you understand. Please go to my website, PastorWEricCrooms.com. Sign up for updates. Surge into the New will be released in a few days. Again, I hope that you are helped by it. I hope that your perspective, is enlightened, and that you come out of it, and you come out of this crisis, this storm, this test, better than how you went in. Because that's really the whole point, folks. We don't have to come out of this the same way we went in. Stay in confidence, step up to the challenge, surge into the new. God bless you.